Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Is there a home arcade market for these cabinets, right? Cabinets that are not full scale, right? Let me say something. I've talked about what's been going on in the video game scene as far as home arcades in the past, right? But what I want to do here is I want to talk about the business aspects of it, because a lot of times we don't think about those things. We just think about, oh, this guy has this and this guy's like that, or, and a business is different from the individual. Let's just say that. In a business, a company, larger companies have different requirements than individuals. I like what's going on here, right? The one thing that I have to say is I don't agree with people that judge these cabinets based on actual cabinets. I don't. It's a completely different monster. Number one, the price point of cabinets, a good cabinet that you don't have to fix or anything, is a lot higher. Not everybody has, $2,000 plus in order to order a good cabinet. The ads are there, right? Everywhere. You can get the best sticks, the best buttons, the best everything, have it custom made, and you're looking at 2 to 3 G's. It's almost like buying an original arcade unit. And if you don't have the money for that, right, nobody should make you feel bad because you can't afford an actual pinball that's 10 grand or a an arcade machine that's 5 G's. It reminds me when people talk about like PC gamers look down on console gamers because they don't have the latest specs. You can still enjoy the games, right? I own very expensive games. They've turned expensive. But I'm not going to chastise somebody for emulating because that's the only way they can play it. Because if they want to play the game, do they have to spend $500 on a game? No, that's nuts, right? And some people can only afford these. Some people can only have these in their units because if you live in an apartment, are you gonna move, a $10,000 arcade all the way up there? Are you going to move full arcade cabinets in a small apartment if you live in a city where space is a premium? No. Everybody has different necessities. And based on that, there is a market for this product. Why is there a market for this product? Well, you can deduce it by the simple fact that people are making cabinets, right? When a company decides to make a product, before they even, spend 1 penny on production, they've done the studies ahead of time. Now, not like fake studies like other companies have done because it's just a scam, but I'm talking about actual studies where you study the market, you look at the numbers, and if you look just at generic numbers, I'm pretty sure that at this point, Arcade 1Up has already surpassed the 3 million mark. That's a lot of money, man. Even if you say, okay, well, let's average with all their losses and whatever, they average $400 a cabinet. That's still a lot of cabbage, man. That's still a lot of money, right? So there's a market there and there's a customer there. That there's no doubt. But there's a customer for good quality products. When the products aren't quality, right, or semi-decent, there isn't a market there. Obviously, by everything that's been going on, for example, with Arcade 1Up. But I like what's going on here because of the following. Number one, you have John D that came out with these 2 cabinets. I'm not a fan of the other Street Fighter. I'm a fan of the artwork, right? And when I'm saying I'm a fan of the looks, right? I like the look of this cabinet. So what is it, 9/10? It's deep, it's deeper. And I like the artwork, right? $700. Is that something people can afford? Yeah. When people like a cabinet, they'll spend that money. It's been shown. Whether or not he's going to be successful, that's yet to be seen. He's still in the early stages, right? There's things that people are pointing out that they can still change before production. For example, the headphone jack. It seems to be in the wrong place, for example. They should move it towards the front, right? So that's just something that's just starting. But at least the shape of that cabinet, I think, could be a success. That's something that he could sell, right? When it gets to the promotion and marketing, we have yet to see what's going to go on there. You also have Glen, completely different product, right? Something you can customize. The FU for you, I believe. That's what he says. I'm thinking it should be a big FU to Arcade 1-Up. That's what I'm thinking, right? After they took his joystick. But anyway, regardless, right? We know Glen's reputation, and the advantage that Glen has is he doesn't have the constraints that corporations have. What restraints are those? Well, a corporation is always shooting to make double their money, right? Glen doesn't have that restriction. And because of that, right? Because of that, he can be more innovative with his products. With competition comes innovation, right? And with the stuff that he's able to do, it shows other companies, hey, you could be doing this. Well, if I spend X amount more, I could have this with Glen. So that puts pressure on the market. It really does. Even though he's not as big as the others, right? If you were putting one of these together, right? If you were putting a room together, which at the moment I can't, because my daughter's in her terrible twos. But if I was putting a room together now, right, and this was the area where I wanted to collect, I would have to have at least one of Glen's, one of John D's, and whatever Arcade 1-Up as a starter, right, as a starting point, right? If this is where I wanted to go, right, if this is the new market that we're building, and then you would add whatever Arcade 1-Up is your favorite, or what have you. But that competition of these two other companies on Arcade 1-Up is either going to completely sink them or make them improve their product, right? But I think it's good that now we have more competitions, we have more players in the market, and these players aren't like the ones that come up on my screen every other day where they want $3,000, $2,000 for an arcade, which is, it's all quality product. I'm not saying it's not. But I'm not spending no $3,000, $4,000 on an emulation machine. It's crazy, right? If you have that kind of money, you're just going to buy an original, wherever you can find it and try to restore it yourself. But again, that's a completely different market. So what do I think about this resurgence? Will it work? Well, I hope so. I hope so. I really do. And hopefully this time, the players themselves, the actors that that these companies hire, don't do the same mistakes as before. You really have to vet the people that are your spokespeople. A lot of content, a lot of videos that I made are by people amateurs that don't know what they're doing, right? I mean, it's going to happen again, though, guys. I mean, let's just face it. People want attention on the internet, so they do all kinds of stupid stuff, right? Are we going to have people doing it again? Probably some newcomers. Whenever you have this space, people want attention on YouTube, and they'll do all kinds of crazy stuff, right? I mean, look how much entertainment we've gotten in the past. Just watching. I'm not a participant of this environment, right? I'm not in the home arcade YouTuber every day, environment. But I sure watched it, man. I had a lot of fun. You had guys stealing other people's wives. You got guys putting their wives on camera in outfits that, come on, that's a mom right there. Come on, guys. You got guys, stealing other people's wives. You got e-begging going on. You got FTC violations left and right. I mean, that's always going to happen, right? Somebody's going to do it. But I think the current players, the current crop of home arcade YouTubers have already learned the lesson, as far as what constitute FTC violations or not. Will they be able to control themselves? Who knows? Who knows at this point? There's only so many FTC videos I can make. I gave you the brochure already. I mean, I was on this back in the Amico days. I was talking about this crap 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whenever it was. But will it happen again? Yeah, sure. Why not? It's the internet. It's the internet, right? But for the good of retro gaming, I hope there's a viable market. I hope the market self-corrects. And remember, guys, everybody that gets favors or has a relationship with these companies, their opinions are skewed. I'm not saying that they're bad YouTubers or anything like that, but that's just it. That is what the law is, right? If they're buddies, it doesn't matter if you gave them a free cabinet or not, if you give them a penny or a sticker, right? As long as the relationship is there, those points of views are skewed, and they should be disclosing that. And you as a consumer, right, you have the right to know that. But if not, just remember the best opinions of these products are not from the YouTubers. They're from actual people. Somebody that built it at home and made a video. Hey, this, I'm enjoying my machine. It's cool. This is what it does. Those are the kind of videos that I like to watch, right? To see whether a product is good or not. Actual reviews of people who spend their own hard money. So do I see positives here? I do. I'm very hopeful that we have a better environment of home arcade in the future. But all I can do is hope, right? All we can do is hope, and then humans get involved. Hey, let me tell you, humans as individuals, everybody's wonderful. You meet people one-on-one, they're great. But as soon as they start getting in cliques, I don't know, man. That's when the fun begins. All right, humans, those are just quick thoughts, right? I'm not telling you the truth. Don't take this stuff so seriously. This is just my opinion. I'm not the owner of the truth, right? I'm trying to predict the market here a little bit as I see it. But I wish everybody well. Right? In whatever endeavor you are, whether you're a original home arcade, adopter, or if you only collect actual arcades, the older original ones. If you're into pinballs, great. Whatever you're in, I wish you the best. But no matter what, one thing I will bet you that this coming year, something will happen. There will be some controversy. Whether it's true or man-made, we're going to have some fun. All right, humans, enjoy your arcade games, however you decide to play. I'll catch you on the next one. Make sure you like and subscribe. Take care.